أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه وله وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. This is our second session in our series inshallah for this program Qur'an for young professionals. I hope we are all young in heart inshallah. Young in the heart inshallah. And we always stay as enthusiastic and as excited as the young when it comes to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Told you last time we talked about memorization of the Quran. We talked about being empowered to approach the Quran and change the frame of mind. And then we talked about the memorization of the Quran. Then we talked about al-amthal in the Quran, which we will start tonight inshallah. So those were the 3 points that we covered last time. Inshallah, from now on, I'm going to ask you about the points that we covered last time. So I just saved you today, right? So I don't want it to be a surprise next time. But inshallah, Rabbil Alameen, always try any speech you listen to, try to summarize. If the khatib or the speaker does not summarize it in 3 or 4 points, try to come up with 3 or 4 points of your own. So while you are listening, try, your brain, I want it to be working on not the information, because if you start working on the information, it will be like those rabbits we were talking about last time, right? But try to find a highlight of what the speaker said. Instead of, as a listener, we accuse our speakers that their subject is incoherent, right? If they are incoherent in the way they speak, we have to be coherent in the way we receive. So always try to look for a point. Try to make sense out of what you're listening. It goes both ways. Try to make sense out of what you're listening. Because the easiest thing is to accuse. The easiest thing for me to accuse my audience that they are not paying attention. And the easiest thing for the audience is to accuse me that I am going around all over the place. Right? But the hard way is when I sit in a lecture, my time is not a waste. I want to benefit from this lecture. So forget about what the speaker does. So inshallah try. I'll do my best that at the end I give you 3 or 4 points, no more inshallah. Right? If I don't, then try to come up with yours. I just give you an advice in general. That is the same way it goes with the Quran. I told you that before every lecture I'll take about 10 minutes for the empowerment to get to the Quran. Then we'll get to our subject matter, right? We'll get to our subject matter. So that is the same way with the Quran, with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Try to understand it and don't make the language as a barrier. Try to learn in the Arabic while you are trying to read the translation in English. One of the keys also, some people, they told me from my experience, and people told me that when they learn the meaning of the ayah, they memorize it better and the retention becomes faster and they hold it, holding it becomes stronger. So it becomes easier to memorize, it becomes easier to keep, firmer to keep, and it becomes easier to recollect and retain when you understand. So when you say ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, if you know the word raib here is like your key word of that ayah, means the word doubt, right? So whenever the word doubt comes in your head, you always say Quran has no doubt in it. Or there is no doubt that the Quran is the word of truth. That clears your doubt a little bit. Okay, so whenever you have a doubt in Aqidah or something like that, remember the word what? Raib. Remember the word what? And Allah said what about raib? About Quran and raib? La raib. So now you know the word la raib, right? So whenever in the Quran you find the word la, means Allah is negating something. So try to know what is Allah negating, and that becomes the key word of the ayah. See? So now you can have that as a keyword. Every ayah has a la and something about after it. I have to ask yourself, what is Allah Azza Jalla negating here? So that becomes easy for you to memorize that ayah. Right? Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Tawheed. Okay, so this ayah is speaking about what? Tawheed, about the oneness of Allah. This whole ayah is speaking about Allah. So it becomes easy for you to memorize Ayat al-Kursi. Right? And so on and so forth. But we will talk about those skills inshallah maybe later when we are memorizing. But this is just to empower you about the Quran. Today I have a very nice discussion with somebody about the word hudan lil muttaqin. since we're going to take some amthal from the first page of the second page of the Quran today, I'm going to give you like an introduction to that. So you understand why the hypocrites came later on in that order, and why Allah gave those examples. All is in that word, hudan lil muttaqin. Hudan lil muttaqin. Type. Now, if Allah has, what is the meaning of the word hudan?
Guidance.
Guidance. What is guidance? What is guidance? Like, what is it? Like if I ask you what guidance is, what would you say, sister? Showing you to the right path. Anything else? Okay. What are the components of any guidance to be effective? What are the components of any concept of guidance to be effective?
To be clear, it has to be executable.
From Allah.
See, I know your major is like either management or something, right? Yes, am I right? Or
Medicine.
what do you do?
Medicine.
Medicine. So yeah, there is some structure in your head. Now, that's why amthal come in the Quran. I asked you these questions. That's why exactly to answer that question, amthal comes in the Quran. Sometimes the concept is in the abstract, right? I don't know. So if you remember an image, it becomes easy for you. So when I asked you what is guidance, you said to show you the path. I want to go to Dallas now. How should I be guided? Then you will find out the answer for that question. So I gave you an example. It is like someone going from Houston to Dallas. How can you apply guidance? What are the components here he needs? It needs the subject who want to be guided. It needs the guide who will guide him. Right? It needs understanding what is the goal, how, right? And then how to do it. And then what is the material to use. Right? So guided, that's the subject. The guide is the one who will lead. What is the manual or the curriculum or the plan according to which this one will follow this one. And then we have a go. So when we say ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ means the Qur'an. I'm sorry, I'm going to be moving around. So ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ about the Qur'an. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ no doubt in it. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ guidance for the muttaqin. Okay? Hudan, the word hudan here means guidance. Right? But you have to understand what is before it and what is after it. First, you have to agree that Quran has no doubt in it, and there is no doubt that this is the book from Allah. To be guided, that has to be the base. Otherwise, you don't know your goal. Because if you doubt the Quran itself, how it is going to guide you if you're doubting your guide? How? And if you believe that your guide or the book he's using or the manual he's using or the maps that they are using is no good, then how the guidance will work? Will not work. So what is the first condition to be guided? That you have to believe that la rayba fi. Okay? Now, it is guidance for who? Guidance for who? Muttaqeen, right? How come they are already muttaqeen and they guided? Guided is the one who is about to become Muslim. So Allah did not say this Quran is guidance for the Muslims or guidance for the mu'mineen. But He said it is guidance for the muttaqeen. So that would be the question now. Who are the muttaqeen, right? Who are the muttaqeen? And then by knowing that, you'll understand what kind of guidance here is needed. And that tells us also as professionals, you never cease to learn. You always need guidance. So guidance not only for beginners. Guidance also for the advanced. Because taqwa comes after Islam and after Iman, right? You reach the stage of taqwa, right? Taqwa is something high. Still, Quran is guidance for the muttaqeen. So it will guide you until you become muttaqeen, and it will continue the journey of guidance after you become from the muttaqeen. So what is our concern now? To be among the muttaqeen all the time, right? And what is taqwa? Is to do what Allah Azza wa Jal wants and to avoid what Allah Azza wa Jal dislikes. That's the simplest way of taqwa. فِعْلُ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ وَاجْتِنَابُ مَا نَهَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. Simple. Don't go into philosophical, logical thing because you're going to get lost, right? How you want to be muttaqeen? Your concern from the minute you wake up in the morning until you sleep is to do what? To do the halal and avoid haram. You'll be struggling. You'll have problems. You'll have issues, right? But that's my main concern. I want to be among the muttaqeen, and that's what I need. So Quran is guidance for you, right? Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said how to be among the muttaqeen. He gave you those 5 things. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بالغيب. Here there is a secret in that one. Why Allah started with it. Yani don't make the whole deen confined and all shrink to the rituals part. Right? Why you are doing it? Again, why you want to be guided? Because there is ghaib. There is Allah Azza wa Jal. You have not seen Him, but you still believe in Him. Right? There is Jannah, where you want to go. You haven't seen it, but you want to go. And there is hellfire. You have not seen it, but you want to avoid it. Yes? So الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. For that reason, يقيمون الصلاة. So salah is not an end goal, because many people think it's an end goal. It's an end goal to salah. No, salah is a vehicle. It's like your car. Why you buy your car? Why you buy a car? To take you somewhere. Now, how the car looks and how this is again another issue. But the whole main point of a vehicle or car is to take you from point A to point B. Point A is here. Point B is يؤمنون بالغيب, right? You believe in al-ghaib. And what is going to take you there? ويقيمون الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. غيب in the beginning and the غيب at the end. وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على إيه? What? So Qur'an is هدى للمتقين, and then they are going to get the guidance. And they will be successful. They will get the guidance in the dunya, and they will be successful in the akhirah. وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. See how beautiful? That is how you look at the Qur'an. Yes. So whenever you look at the Qur'an, don't belittle it. Don't belittle it. Qur'an doesn't have to be in the shelf. That's not its place. Quran is the shelf for protection, waiting for you to pick it up, read it, ponder it, live it, love it, you know? So it is in the shelf there for a time. Okay, your car is in the garage, but you did not buy it to keep it in the garage. Like, you know, this Jay Leno, what's his name? Yeah? He keeps the car in the garage. So it's a show. It's like for his collection. He reached to that level, right? So the car is for him, it's not to take him from, we're not talking about this type of people, right? So Quran, not for us like, oh, I have a Quran from Saudi, and I have a Quran from Qatar, and I have a Quran in the box, and I have a Quran this, and I have a Quran as a pendant, and I have a Quran in my watch, and I have a Quran in my iPad.
Barakah.
No. This is not what Quran is for, is it? No. Is it? Don't believe that. No, Quran here, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. Huh? Say it. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Keep saying that. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. I am from the muttaqeen. هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. I am from the muttaqeen. I want to be among the muttaqeen. Keep saying that until you believe in it. You believe in it. Repeat that. Don't repeat negative stuff. Please. Repeat the good things. I'm a mu'min. I'm a believer. What is the point of saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah every single day? What is the point of that? If it's not empowering you from inside. If the adhan is not empowering you every time you listen to it. Adhan is one of the pillars of Islam. Not pillars of the 5 pillars. But one of the pillars of any community is to have adhan. You know, this adhan is like a reminder for you to respond to something important. And every time you stand in the salah, you say Allahu Akbar. That should empower you. Whenever you are weak, whenever you are unemployed, whenever you have an issue, whenever you are sick, every time you stand in salah and say, what? Bigger than all of that. And you are with him, you are his abd subhanahu wa ta'ala, that should empower you. When you start saying, A'udhu billahi shaitanir rajeem, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it should empower you. That there is Allah who is going to protect you from shaitan and who is going to help you. That's A'udhu and Bismi. That's what it means. Keep this on away from me, and please you be with me, right? And then you start. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, each one of them actually brings something. That's why reading Surah Al-Fatiha and every rak'ah, subhanallah. Every rak'ah, because of that. You read Surah Al-Fatiha and every rak'ah. Why? Because it gives you something nothing else will give you. See, that's how you become empowered. I can go on and on, by the way. But that's how you become empowered when you are reading the Qur'an or listening to the Qur'an. How many of us use the excuse that, oh, I need to study Arabic, I don't understand Qur'an firsthand? Raise your hand. Please, do that. That's an excuse, right? Okay. So how much of your time you spend in trying to know the Arabic of Surah Al-Fatiha? Just know the Arabic of Surah Al-Fatiha. If every day you take one word, wallahi, it would have been done by now, memorized it by heart in Arabic. Bismi, Bismi, Bi, Ismi, Bismi means with the name of Allah or in the name of Allah. Bismi, Bismillahi, we know that one. Ar-Rahmani, that's mercy. Ar-Rahim, that's also another mercy. Don't go so much in the differences, like mercy, mercy. So I need the mercy of Allah, and in His name I'm starting, right? Alhamdu, Alhamdu, Hamada, Yahmadu, Mahmoud. All of this from the same Hamd. Alhamdu, all praise, the praise. Lillahi, li means to. Lillahi, to Allah. And you go like that. Surah Al-Fatiha is easy and simple. Now you understand it first hand in Arabic. You don't need English, Urdu, or Persian, or French, or anything else. So you just understand it first hand, because all the meanings are in your head. So every time you hear the word Alhamdu, Alhamdulillahi alladhi khalaqa, Alhamdulillah alladhi anzala, Alhamdulillahi fatiri, you know what Alhamdu means? Lillahi means. You're praising Allah. You see? So you're not only read Alhamdu, every time Alhamdu comes in the Quran, you know that this ayah is speaking about what? Praising Allah. Right? Rabbi, every time you have the word Rabb, which is mentioned hundreds of times in the Quran, you're good. So Surah Al-Fatiha has your key. And you go from there. Read the last 12 surahs of the Quran and try to do this exercise. Qul means say. Every time you have Qul, tens of times in the Quran. Now you know the word Qul. Allah is asking Prophet Muhammad to say something. And that means I am asked to say something. What is that thing? You become excited to know it. A'udhu, like A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytani. Qul a'udhu, so you say A'udhu. Birabbi, Rabb, you already studied in Surah Al-Fatiha. And Nas means people. You see how you're adding to your vocabulary? You don't need me to be with you to teach you Arabic. You can learn it on your own from the Quran, subhanAllah. And the teacher can guide you, yes. But don't keep in your mind this the frame of mind we were talking about last time. I have to attend Arabic class, otherwise I don't understand anything. And hence, 20 years later, I don't know the Arabic of the Quran because I did not attend the class. Yes? You could think like that. But you can think, today I'm going to learn one ayah in Arabic fully. And next week I'm going to do the same thing. So 1 year, I know 2 pages of the Quran fully in Arabic. Khalas, alhamdulillah. And then go on in the Quran and try to circle the words that you already know. And then learn another page and read the whole Quran again and circle the words that you know. And then learn the 4th page and read the whole Quran again in 1 month or 2 months and circle the words you know. And you will see how much words you know every time. Every time you have 1 page, you will find more words. And that's how you learn Quranic Arabic. You don't have to register for a class and pay all this money and do all of these kind of things. Start somewhere. So I hope, inshallah, we can enter now to our subject, which is Al-Amthal fil Qur'an. Al-Amthal fil Qur'an. So that was the conversation I had with the brother in the morning. Why Hudan lil Muttaqeen? Why Allah Azza wa Jal give their description first? So this Qur'an would be guidance for them. Opposite to them are those who did not accept that Qur'an is the word from Allah. That means they have raib. We studied the word raib now, right? What is raib? Doubt. And the Qur'an has what? La raib. Does not have doubt in it, and there is no doubt about it being the book of Allah. We clear about that? Yeah. That's why we are from the muttaqeen. May Allah make us among them. Say Ameen. Now there is a group who did not accept that first part. So there is a doubt. Oh God, He does not send a book. He does not to be worshipped. He's not to be worshipped. Mushrikeen, right? إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. Because they have a premise already. They already have a fact that they believe in. That this God created heavens and earth and all of that, but He doesn't have anything to do with anything. And I don't need to worship Him. So you come and talk to Him about a messenger and about a book and about, they already rejected that. That's why Allah said, إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم سواء عليهم. Not سواء عليك. سواء عليهم. يعني it is same for them, whether you invite them or not. But it is not same for you to invite them or not, because your job is to invite them. So it's not the same. You got to invite, right? But for them, whether you invite or not, what does that tell us as student of knowledge, as activists in Houston here and now? It's not the same if you work for Allah's sake and you don't work for Allah's sake. It's not the same if you volunteer in a masjid or you don't volunteer in the masjid. It's not the same when you teach or not teach. It's not the same when you come to this class and you don't come to this class. It's not the same. So action here, you have to do the right thing. Don't say, oh, people don't get it. Why should I go teach that class? Right? No, for them it's okay. But for me, it's not the same. I have to make the initiative. So as a worker, as a responsible person, as a leader, it's not the same if you work or not. It might be the same for people you are inviting, whether you are here or somebody else or you're not there at all, doesn't matter. So don't make the people the incentive for you to do something for the sake of Allah. Okay? Don't make people, they are the reason I study Qur'an. You're not memorizing Qur'an for anybody. Don't make it like that. Make it for your own. And it's not the same if you memorize it or not. So سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. In 2 ayahs only. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. So after this ayat in the muttaqin first, then 2 ayahs for the kafirin, then you have about 12 or 2 pages basically for the munafiqeen and the hypocrites. More details. Why? Because muttaqin is easy, you can relate to, because this is the state of the heart and we all believe. You say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu Muhammadur Rasulullah, and kafirin, they are clear, rejecting. But munafiqin, they hide something and they show something else. And that's the worst part. Right? Then after Allah described them, Allah gives the amthal for them. Because here, Allah is talking about someone that you cannot figure, you cannot find out. You cannot find out. You walk among thousands of people who are all doing the same thing like you. How would you know who is a hypocrite and who's not? How would you know if you are a hypocrite or not? How would I know if I am a hypocrite or not? If I'm in danger to be a hypocrite or not? And the last part actually is the most important. Sometimes you are in danger. You are endangered. There was someone having an issue in the masjid, right? I'm involved in that issue in an indirect manner, but it caused 2 brothers to have an, struggle with each other, like one wants something to go this way and one wants, which is the deal everywhere, but it went further. So one of them, I'm sitting right there to solve the issue while the other one is absent. So I'm trying to approach this one, the hard one, trying to approach him to soften a little bit, right? So when we are talking, he said, Sheikh, you can say everything, but do not speak about that brother because I already decided he's this, and I'm not going to talk to him, I'm not going to open that subject. He said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Subhanallah. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warned us. He said, آية المنافق يعني 4 من كن فيه كان منافقا خالصا ومن كانت فيه واحدة منهن كانت فيه خصلة النفاق حتى يدعها. 4 things. If they are in one person, he is a complete pure hypocrite. أعوذ بالله. That's the Prophet, not me. And if you have one of them, he has one of the aspects of nifaq until he leaves it. One of them, وإذا خاصم فجر. وإذا خاصم إيه؟ فجر. When you dispute or disagree with someone, you go to the extreme of shutting that person down and judging them. So because I fear for you, this is a problem. And when he kept like that, he said, خلاص, السلام عليكم. When you understand what I said, we'll deal with this. But this is too much. You can't do that. Whenever you disagree with someone, you have to keep an opening. You have to keep what? An opening for that person to escape or to come back. But don't tighten it like this. You are not a God. Astaghfirullah. You are not the ilah. Allah keep the door open for people to repent. And you as a Muslim should keep, even people who insulted you, keep an option. Even it's very slim. Just keep it open. Maybe that person will wake up one day. Because I care about this. Rasulullah cries for a non-Muslim janazah because it escaped to hellfire, right? And we cannot deal with each other on even similar level. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, right? So that's why Allah talking about the hypocrites. Now what are the amthal? Mathal in Arabic means similar, similarity, resemblance. Means there is a resemblance between 2 things, right? Sometimes it is hidden, sometimes it is clear, right? Sometimes I said this thing is like that thing. That's clear, right? Sometimes the mathal is just to give how we say to draw not to draw an analogy, but to find something similar. Like Allah Azza wa Jalla said, the example of the disbelievers, like imra'at Nuh and imra'at Lut. So there is nothing to work your mind much. You know, you want to know how the kuffar look like? Here is an example, right? That's just an example. That's a clear example here. You don't have to work your mind much. مثل ضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا امرأة فرعون. Right? So Allah give you an example of those who believe and how they struggled and their faith was strong and they were connected with Allah like امرأة فرعون. He's punishing her, he's torturing her until she died and all that. She said, يا رب ابني لي عندك بيتا في الجنة. رب ابني لي عندك. That's the example. You should be like that. That's the meaning of the example. Right? And even being the wife of the Prophet did not prevent them from disbelieving in Allah. Being the wife of Pharaoh did not prevent her from being a believer. That's easy to understand. Now, an example of something, as I said, in the abstract. It's a concept. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is like a concept. I can give you a list of the details of the hypocrites. They lie when they speak. They do this, they do this, they do that. Still, you don't have something solid, tangible to hold to. Then Allah give you a picture. And always whenever an example comes in the Qur'an, I say, as I was saying last time, you know, you kind of draw in a canvas, right? You have that, and you start drawing in it, that example, to build things. And that's why imagery, image is very important. It's a very good method to use with your children. Image. Give them an image, right? Give them an image to believe, and make hard concepts very easy. Very, very easy. And sometimes you put a picture in something that they're struggling with in their head, and then you say, wow, yeah, now I get it. Like that. Right? Now I get it, like that. So you said, you have to do home, you're like this. So it's like you are longing so much for a toy, and that toy is in the high shelf. How are you going to get to that high shelf? You keep jumping, you don't get it, right? You need an adult to help you to get it. That's what adults do in your life. You see? So every time, they need help with something, they will never have an ego or have anything, right? Because, sometimes you cannot reach the higher shelf. So you need an adult to help you. That's what adults do. Every time I tell you something, it is something you don't see above in the shelf, right? So I'm carrying you to get it, or I'm getting it for you. So use me like that. You see? This is kind of a picture, image, in the tarbiyah of the kids. Qur'an does that all the time. Either teaching you through a story, or teaching us through amthal, drawing this analogy, and it takes you levels. Sometimes the method is very clear. This is like that. You do this, it's like that. You don't do this, it's like that. Right? And sometimes the example needs a little bit of work. Right? وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس وما يعقلها إلا العالمون. So you need a coach to understand it. You cannot understand it on your own. You need some knowledge, some level of knowledge to withdraw. Take more. And we'll do that exercise inshallah in the coming. Right? We will work as much as we can. And we will get that example. And then I'm going to give you one hint, and you will find more to dig. Serious. So you find more to dig. And then after, when you finish, when you think you're done, I'll give you another hint. You say, oh yeah, I haven't thought from that angle. And from that angle. And from that angle. And you spend all your life actually doing that. Basically. You know why? Because this is the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. This method, you understood it now. Okay? A situation changes and you can relate to the method in a different way. So you're going to get something new. Every time you read the Qur'an. Every time technology come up with something else, you can understand the Qur'an in a different way. Completely. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ يا عم الشيخ عمار in his hand. What kind of kitab is this? Imagine how the Sahaba thought about kitab. Now, I'm having how much on my iPad now? How much on my iPad? Actually, a library that can fit in my house twice. every room I stack it with books. It's all in my iPad here. And I just open and I find a book which is 50 volumes. 50 volumes, ده يعني مثلا it will fill this kind of things. That's one book. So at the old time, to own this, how many 50 book sets you can have at your home? So when Allah says, أَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ, they know what a kitab is. Imagination, how far it can reach you. Right? But now, that ayah, how you'll understand it now. This kitab doesn't have to be a book which is bound and page after page. It can be something else. Maybe we reach a technology that you get your book with your right hand is like some type of thing you download in your head or something like that. You can see everything. Allahu A'lam. Allah knows. Now when we see the wahy comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, like salsalatul jaras, and his body becomes heavy and all that, maybe we don't understand it in the right context, but maybe when we have different scientific things in the future, we can understand it in a different. But a believer believes on what Allah Azza wa Jal says. So that's why al-amthal always have more. So because of the munafiqeen and their danger, Allah gives 2 examples, not one, in Surah Al-Baqarah. So example here needs to work your brain a little bit. Amthal in the Qur'an, and those examples here, in general, Qur'an emphasizes on 2 things and give you the examples with, or invite you to things through farming, agriculture, farming, and business. Farming, and it all starts with what? Planting a seed. And it ends with what? Business transaction. You see? That's our life basically. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So you plant a seed and what? Business transaction. And in between, there's lots of processing. There are people, watering, people, harvesting, and people carrying it, people boxing it, people taking it to Walmart, and then you go and buy it from there. Right? So basically, the whole dunya is like that. So that's why Allah Azza wa Jalla said, the dunya, when you are invited to do something good, it is like planting and harvest. And when Allah Azza wa Jalla wants a profit for you, He uses business. Business, loan, debt, these kind of things. That is the physical aspect of it. Now when it comes to giving examples, you will find lots of examples involving water and lots of examples involving fire. Right? And sometimes the example have both. And we have many of those in Surah Al-Baqarah. The garden, rain comes, so there's water. And then after the harvest comes, what happens? It burns. So that's fire, right? Now, why? وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. So from water, we made everything alive. So now, like water makes everything alive, Qur'an makes your heart also alive. And that's how Rasulullah said actually. He said, مَثَلُ مَا بَعَثَنِي اللَّهُ بِهِ كَمَثَلِ الْمَاءِ مَطَرٍ. The example of what Allah sent me with is like rain. And the land is like your heart. Right? And if your heart it brings the fruit and it comes to action, it is like this plant comes in harvest. Right? So you get the idea here? So that's how you work with the examples. When you start knowing the main characters in this theme here. Right? Who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist, who's the this, who's that. So it's like that, So this theme and the plot and all of that. So when you know this, then you can understand. So let's apply it here in the hypocrisy. And the fire does 2 things. Gives you light and gives you heat, but it also burns. So it gives you benefit and it has a heart. Right? So now watch what Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the first method. Today is just we are introducing, right? Allah Azza wa Jalla, after He said the munafiqeen, they tried to deceive Allah, but they deceived nobody but themselves. When they were told not to corrupt on earth, they said, we are not corrupting. Actually, you are corrupting. We are the ones who are fixing it. See, that's another characteristic. When they told them believe, they said believe. Like those guys, those are the fools. Allah said they are the fools. So, this projection in a negative way, in psychology they call it projection. When somebody have a negative thing, what is the first thing that they do? Everybody else has it except me. Right? So denial and projection, denial and projection. Denial means I don't have it, but then even if I have it, but I kind of have a denial that I don't have it, and everybody else has it. So you project it on others. So find a person doing that with all negativities, subhanallah, be afraid, right? That person should be afraid. Okay, so you start with yourself. You say, I'm sorry all the time. I need to fix. I need you to help me. So I need you to help me. So I don't accuse you to save myself. So Allah said the hypocrites do that. Then Allah said, مثلهم. Here is an example coming to you. So the word me, that the root meme, I mean the word have meme, the. You know the that has 3 dots in Arabic? And the lam. What is that? مثل. Say مثل. What is it? مثل. Now, those 3 letters will be repeated in the Quran, but in different ways. مثل, أمثال, like that, right? So it will be repeated like this. Allah says, أمثال needs knowledgeable people to do. So it doesn't mean that's my job only. No, you should become like me so you reach the same level, right? Also, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَيَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْأَمْثَالَ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla giving example for people so they also exercise their minds. So knowledgeable people will find it, but you still invited to become knowledgeable people. So you start the process as well. Don't say this is only for sheikhs to do. It doesn't work like that. You also need to go up. But you need to ask the people of knowledge of what you don't know, but you make the effort. You're not only a receiver like this. Alright? We need to get out of this. So, مثلهم, like what? كمثل الذي استوقد نارا. So that's a fire example now. كمثل الذي what? استوقد نارا. So that's the fire example. We're starting with the fire example. Remember, fire does what? Give you light and heat to cook stuff, and the light, which is used here, and then it burns, right? It burns. So it has a benefit and it has what? Harm. مثلهم كمثل is the example of الذي. There is a person now. Imagine in your head. الذي, there is a person. Can be a man or a woman. So you imagine a person. استوقد نارا means he's in dark. Somebody's in the dark. Like in the desert, in the dark. استوقد is different from أوقد. Is different from أوقد, and it is significant in here. أوقد means somebody lit a fire. Means he has the means by which he lights a fire. But استوقد is looking for wood and what he would light a fire with. And that's important, right? So somebody is searching for fire to do. استوقد, alif, sin and ta always means seeking to do something. Like استعلم, seeking knowledge. Right? استخبر, asking for the khabar. استكبر, not only تكبر. تكبر means someone, he became arrogant. But istakbara, always looking for what he becomes arrogant with. Or arrogant, he's looking for a place to become arrogant. You see istakbara? Takabbara means, he became arrogant. But istakbara means this is his theme. So istawqada means looking for firewood and looking for 2 stones to do that. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاء. In between there is something missing. It means he was successful in lighting the fire. Means he found the wood, he found how to light, and he put the wood together, and he's mashallah found a spark, and he lit the fire. That's not mentioned in the ayah. And that's important. Again, when we're gonna decipher the example, each step of what I'm telling you, you have to you have to say, this part means this part means this part means that. So you have to understand, right? So example of a person is in the dark, in the desert, he needs heat, he needs light. So what he's looking for? Fire. Then he goes get the means by which he light the fire. Now he lit the fire, and not only that, the fire did its job. فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ مَا حَوْلَهُ, surrounding. He did not say فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ the place. No, only make a light, small light, enough for him, right? He could have expounded in that, but he didn't. ذَهَبَ اللَّهُ بِنُورِهِمْ. There's also something missing here. Why Allah ذهب بنورهم? Because He did not use the light properly. You know, when you have a fire, you start putting more wood, right? You see if the wind there cover it and stuff like that. But they didn't do that. So ذهب الله بنورهم. Allah did not say فذهب الله بنارهم. He says استوقد نارا. He did not say فذهب الله بالنار. No, He took away the benefit part. So what remains? What remains? The burning part, right?
Yeah.
ذهب الله بنورهم فلما أضاءت ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. They don't see anything. Someone, now they are in the dark. They cannot hear anyone. If somebody looking, is there anybody there? They will not hear that. Bukmun, they cannot say SOS and help. They cannot. Umyun, they will not see even anybody passing in front. So all three. فَهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. They will not come back again. So even if they try to look for the fire, they will not find it again. How can we decipher that example now? You see how many times we read this? You see how many times we read it? So now inshallah after tonight we'll read it different, right? I want you to go memorize it even. Memorize that ayah now after this. And listen to this recording inshallah again, right? And you'll see, you'll do that and drill yourself. Now, the example of the munafiqeen. Now you will understand what munafiqeen do. This guy standing what? In the darkness in the desert. Before Islam or the guidance of Hudan lil Muttaqeen, where is the person? In the darkness of what? Kufr. And the Jahl, right? They are like in the darkness. في ظلمات. ظلام. In Surah An-Nur, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, أو كظلمات في بحر ومن لم يجعل الله له فما له. So whoever Allah does not give the light means he is in darkness. So here, the example of the munafiqeen, like this guy in the zulumat, in the desert. So they are in the desert of Jahl, like this guy was in an actual desert. They are in the desert of kufr and ignorance, like this one is in the darkness at night. Alright? This man was looking for fire. So the munafiqeen actually was looking for the guidance. And they found it. They found Rasulullah talking to them. They found Abu Bakr, Umar and Aisha and Khadija and all these people. Not Khadija, Khadija was in Mecca, but those people in Medina, hypocrisy was in Medina. Mecca, they were weak, right? So hypocrisy in here. So they found all these Sahaba around, giving them, this is the firewood, this is how you light, this is how you do, right? You want the fire, guidance? Yeah, here is Hudan lil Muttaqeen, الذين يؤمنون بالغيب, give them all of that. So the fire started. Their heart started lighting, but still, حولهم only, they could have expounded in that. Doing the salah for the sake of Allah, so the fire, the light goes more, right? You become more radiant. You start benefiting others around you. Your family, then your neighbors, then the people, then everybody look at you like the ideal Muslim, right? But their heart was like that dim light, as the next example will come, right? فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ مَا حَوْلَهُ. They did not use it right. Now their ego comes, their tribe comes, their benefit comes, hypocrisy. So ذهب الله بنورهم. That nur is went and it remained their grudge, their hatred to the Muslims, right? That is what's going to eat them like the fire, gone. But subhanallah, this man can get burned or something like that. So you see the ayah here? So that's the fire example. Now the next one is the water example. ذهب الله بنورهم أو تركهم في ظلمات وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Then the next ayah is what? أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم في آذانهم من الصواعق حذر الموت والله محيط بالكافرين يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Powerful. Every word of it rips the heart of anybody who have fear from Allah Azza wa Jalla. أو كصيب من السماء. صيب يعني أصاب يصيب means water touching the ground, reaching to the ground. أو كصيب من السماء. So rain. Now this is the other image. That image was desert, was darkness. He needed fire. Now, but this one is a rainy day. أو كصيب من السماء. Not in the daytime, also in the nighttime. Zulumat here is intended. Now we know what zulumat is, right? Every time Allah gives darkness, how are you going to interpret it in any example? That's a key word, right? Darkness means what? Darkness of ignorance, darkness of disbelief, darkness of arrogance, everything negative. Nur, the light of Allah, the light of the deen, the light of the da'wah, the light, right? So every time you have this, you understand. Water, rain, the knowledge and the ilm and all of that. Unless it has wind and everything, it is destruction, right? So you know. أو كصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات, darkness, ورعد, thunder. The sound is scary, right? That's your surrounding is dark. And what you hear is scary. وبرق, what you see. Right? So your surrounding is dark. Lightning, you see. And ra'ad is you hear. Right? You see when you see the lightning, there's some type of fear that strikes your heart. But you have hope if you are in a dry area. When you see lightning, you say, oh, we have a drought. Subhanallah. Hope. But that lightning also can do what? Can burn, right? And the thunder, subhanallah, thunder sometimes is scary. It is scary, right? رعد وبرق يجعلون أصابعهم How many of you can put all the finger inside the ear?
Out of fear.
Can you put all your finger? No, but can you put all your finger all the way?
No.
But the ayah is saying that. So that's not actually literally. It is what?
Metaphorically.
Figuratively. Same thing. Sayyidina Nuh said, وَإِنِّي كُلَّمَا دَعَوْتُهُمْ جَعَلُوا أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي أَذَانِهِمْ. يعني في means inside. You know, not the tip of the finger. No, they make their fingers inside of their ear. Fi, inside. So that means like exaggeration, right? So he put his fingers in his ears. So it is like, you know, I don't want to hear you. يَجْعَلُونَ أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ من الصواعق, from these storms. حذر الموت, they are afraid of dying. والله محيط بالكافرين. Allah Azza wa Jal will really take the kafirin away. So when they are scared, Allah warning them in the Qur'an with the adhab and all of these type of things, they think by putting their fingers they will not listen, they will be saved. It is like the example they use, the ostrich puts its head down thinking that I don't see the enemy now, so the enemy will not see me. Yeah, يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم. It will take their eyesight away. كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا. Stops. See, Iman is coming to them, but they're not accepting it fully. They're not embracing it. Okay? So that's why it's like lightning for them. But a believer, he has the nur all the time. You know, when the light flickering, that's for a hypocrite. Light is flickering. They just see it, and they want to use it, but it's not used properly. You want to have the light that guide you through, you have to embrace it. It has to be with you. Otherwise it will stay flickering because it is out. It's not in your heart. كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم قاموا. Allah, if He wishes, He can take their ears, their listening and all. We'll expound in this example more, inshallah, next time, and we will see how the examples in Surah Al-Baqarah covering this business aspect, planting aspect, fire aspect, and water aspect, right? So fire, because it gives the heat and the light, and it burns as well. The water, it is the resource of everything right, but it can drown as well. And then you have the business transaction, it can be halal and haram, taking and leaving and giving. And the planting, also if you take care of it properly, it will give you the fruit. If you don't take care of it properly, right, it will be destroyed. So those are the examples. Summary of what we said today: you always be empowered when you are reading the Qur'an. You always be empowered when you're reading the Qur'an. This is the word of Allah and the guidance for the muttaqeen. So what is my main concern every day? Point number 1, I want to be among the muttaqeen. How? You read in Surah Al-Baqarah. That's one of the highlights of today. Second highlight, using of images to give us the concept which is in the abstract, to give it as an image. It's a very good thing and a very good method of the Qur'an, and a very good method also to use with each other and with the tarbiyah of the children. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with the muttaqeen in few ayahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the clear-cut disbelievers in 2 ayahs, then took a lot of description for the munafiqeen, the hypocrites, to avoid that, right? To avoid that. Last point number 4, is that the examples of the Quran is for knowledgeable people to expound and go in the depth with. So we need the knowledgeable people to coach us. At the same time, we need to be from the knowledgeable people, so we need to work our minds as well. Sometimes examples are clear, sometimes they need work, and that's why we need each other as a community. So those are the 4-point summary for today, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. To remember them, either you wrote them now, or you have to listen to the whole lecture again, which I advise you to do, because I speak too much and I say too many things at the same time. Yeah, my brain is constantly wandering around in different places. So inshallah, that's why I said in the beginning, you have to help me to bring it together, inshallah. So I try my best, and may Allah Azza wa Jalla reward all of you for your patience with me today, and for your attention, and for your dedication. And may Allah accept from us. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alayhi wa sallam. If anyone have a question, please, inshallah. What time start al-Isha?
8:15.
Fadl.
One example of the matching between the technology and the Qur'an. When I read the ayah, هذا كتابنا ينطق عليكم بالحق إنا كنا نستنسخ ما كنتم تعملون. Make copies.
Because nastansik, yeah. Means make copies of what you do. And also this is good, mashallah. That's why I'm saying, when you connect with the Quran, it will keep giving you. Wallahi, it will keep giving you in amazing ways. In amazing ways. While you are not even thinking about it, you'll find an idea coming to your head, because you are so connected with the Quran. Not only voice, not only sound, not only the writing, not the melody, but it's beyond that. You want to embrace the knowledge, the rahmah of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah called Quran Ruh. We have a Ruh. يسألونك عن الروح والروح إيه؟ الروح is from Allah, soul يعني. Soul means Ruh, right? Ruh means soul. But Allah called Quran Ruh. That's a life in it. وكذلك أنت قريتها يا شيخ قريب سورة الشورى, right? وكذلك إيه؟ أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا. روحا من أمرنا. Quran is Ruh, as a soul, spirit, like it gives you something. It makes your Ruh alive. Not chained. So it's very important. And then Yawm al-Qiyamah, all of those concepts will become physical too. And all the things that we have in abstract, it will become physical. Like death becomes like a ram will be slaughtered. There will be a mizan. Your deeds will weigh this and will weigh that, right? Some people like the mountain of Uhud in the mizan, and some people will be like a wing of a mosquito. Because not only your a'mal will be weighed, you know that, right? You know that, or you don't know that? Yeah, you also will be weighed. It doesn't matter how much you eat. And it doesn't matter how slim you are. So this is not going to work like that over there, right? Because Rasulullah ﷺ said the leg of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, it is what? Heavier in the Midan, the mountain of Uhud. And he said, يأتر بالرجل العظيم من أهل النار يوم القيامة فلا يساوي عند الله جناح بعوضة ولا يزن جناح بعوضة. It will not be like the wing of a mosquito of weight. So we will be weighed, and you will stand on a scale يوم القيامة, and how good you are, that's how heavy you will be. And your a'mal, your deeds, will take shapes also. So there is a salah, there is a zakah and hajj, 2 pounds of this, 5 pounds of that, like this, I'm just giving you an image here. And then your books of deeds. So 3 things will be weighed. And then the total will be done in a certain calculation, and based on that word. So, yeah. So Sahaba maybe did not understand it the way I say it, but yeah. So everybody believes in their level. Inshallah. Sisters, any question or comment?
So can you please tell us about how to approach the memorization so that we won't forget what we have 7 minutes.
That's good. As I said, all this empowering is to prepare you mentally and spiritually for memorization. But how you do the actual memorization? Number 1, you need a calendar, and you need it in a visual, in a easy place to see. A calendar at home, and calendar on the phone is okay, it's good, but you need something that you see whenever you wake up, whenever you're leaving home or coming from home. Some kind of calendar dedicated to that, and you need to set yourself a goal. You need to set a goal. And then you go, the backward design, there's something called backward design. Like, I want to memorize the whole Qur'an. All right, and how you are going to do, how long you will take in that? I'll take, let's say, 3 years. So how big is the Qur'an? It's 30 juz, right? So if you're going to take 3 years, that means every year you're going to memorize 10 juz, right? So every month you're going to memorize almost 1 juz. So every week you're going to memorize. You see what I'm saying here? So you go backward, and if you see big, you cannot achieve per day. You cannot dedicate per day. So once you say, I'm going to memorize a page per day, then I'm going to ask you, how many hours are you willing to dedicate? Right? And then how long it takes you to memorize 1 page. So we're going to make a test to see how long. So we sit in a session like this, and I said, I give you a random page, and I said, memorize it. And let's see, in 1 hour, how much you memorize. That would be your hourly rate. You got the exercise now? So pick a random page in the Quran that you never seen before, right? Try to listen to it, try to look at it in different script, try to do whatever you like. But one random page. Open the Quran and a random page that you don't know. And put a stopwatch and start doing whatever you like. Repeat each ayah 5 times, 10 times, 50 times. It's up to you. Don't listen to what I say, because 5 times might work with you, might not work with anybody else, right? So this is your exercise to do this week. A random page of the Quran that you're able to read. Listen to it from a qari or somebody. You want to read the tafsir of it? Fine, read the tafsir of it. But when you sit and start saying, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, ضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا, right, like this, stopwatch on. And see that page, how long it will take you to finish. After either 1 hour finish first, or the page finish first. So you memorize the page, and still the 1 hour did not come. Oh, 30 minutes. Okay, click that. So I finished that page in 30 minutes. And do this exercise again. Maybe the other page is harder. Do it 3 or 4 times. If you find that you are within the limit, then that is your limit. And add 5 more minutes. Cool? Right? So that page, you memorized it in 30 minutes. The other page, you memorized it in 25. And the third page, you memorized it in 40 minutes. So 35 minutes. Plus 5 is 40 minutes. That's your kind of median. So put 45 minutes, I take 1 page. Now go backward now. I memorize 1 page in 45 minutes. So I can dedicate 45 minutes to an hour. Because after you memorize, you need to review. So you need 15 minutes to read that page from your memory 5-6 times, right? We'll talk about that next time, inshallah. Remind me. Huh? I'm just giving you the test now. Then after that, go backward. Remember, whole Quran 3 years, 1 year, 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour, right? So now we're going to go backward. I memorized in 1 hour, 1 page. Ask yourself, how many days per week I'm willing to do that? 3 or 4? Write that down. That means every week I memorize 1 page, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages. Don't go more than that, by the way, as a beginner. Yeah. Okay? 1 page a day, 5 times a week. So if you miss 1 day. Then multiply 4 per month, multiplied by 12, multiplied by 3 years. If the Quran is finished in that, 3 years is your goal. If not, then extend. Okay? And then start committing and start doing. Now next time I'm going to tell you what to do each time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But today you do the test. This week you do that test, inshallah. So do that?
Jazakallah.
All right. Okay.
Bismillah.